The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, Chapter 1. The Compound Effect in Action. You know that expression, slow and steady wins the race? Ever heard the story of a tortoise and the hare? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the tortoise. Give me enough time and I will beat virtually anybody, anytime, in any competition. Why? Not because I'm the best or the smartest or the fastest. I'll win because of the positive habits I've developed and because of the consistency I use in applying those habits. I am the world's biggest believer in consistency. I'm living proof that it's the ultimate key to success. Yet, it's one of the biggest pitfalls for people struggling to achieve. Most people don't know how to sustain it. I do. I have my father to thank for that. In essence, he was my first coach for igniting the power of the compound effect. My parents divorced when I was 18 months old, and my dad raised me as a single father. He wasn't exactly the soft, nurturing type. He was a former university football coach, and he hardwired me for achievement. Thanks to dad, wake up calls were at 6 o'clock every morning, not by a loving tap on the shoulder or even the sound of a radio alarm. No, I was awakened each morning by the repetitious pile driving sound of iron pounding on the concrete floor of our sorry, garage situated next to my bedroom. It was like waking up 12 feet from a construction zone. He'd painted a huge no pain, no gain sign on the wall of the garage, which he stared at while he did countless old school strongman deadlifts, power cleans, lunges, and squats. Rain, sleet, or shine, Dad was out there in his shorts and tattered sweatshirt. He never missed a day. He could set your watch by his routine. You could set your watch by his routine. I had more chores than a housekeeper and gardener put together. Upon returning from school, there was always a list of instructions to greet me. Pull weeds, rake leaves, sweep the garage, dust, vacuum, do the dishes. Your name, you name it. And getting behind in school wasn't tolerated. That's just the way it was. Dad was the original no excuses guy. We weren't even allowed to stay home from school sick unless we were actually puking, bleeding, or showing bone. The term showing bone came from his coaching days. His players knew they weren't allowed to come out of the game unless they were seriously injured. One time, his quarterback asked to be pulled out of the game. Dad said, "Not unless you are showing bone." The quarterback pulled back his shoulder pads, and sure enough, his collarbone was showing. Only then was he allowed to come off the field. One of Dad's core principles was it doesn't matter how smart you are or are not, you need to make up in hard work what you lack in experience, skill, intelligence, or innate ability. If your competitor is smarter, more talented, or experienced, you just need to work 3 or 4 times as hard. You can still beat them. No matter what the challenge, he taught me to make up in hard work for whenever I might be disadvantaged. Miss free throws at the game, do 1,000 free throws every day for a month. Not good at dribbling with your left hand, tie your right hand behind your back and dribble 3 hours a day. Behind in your math, hunker down, hire a tutor, and work like hell all summer until you get it. No excuses. If you aren't good at something, work harder, work smarter. He walked his talk too. Dad went from being a football coach to a top salesman. From there, he became the boss and ultimately went on to own his own company. But I wasn't given loads of instruction. From the beginning, Dad let us figure it out. He was all about taking personal responsibility. He didn't hammer on us every night about homework. We just had to show up with the results. And when you did, you were celebrated. If we got good grades, Dad took us to Pring's, an ice cream parlor, where you could get these king banana split 6 scoop of ice cream and all the fixings. Many times my siblings didn't fare as well in school, so they didn't get to go. Getting to go was a big deal, so you worked your butt off to win the trip. Dad's principle, Dad's discipline served as an example for me. Dad was my idol, and I wanted him to be proud of me. I also liked I also lived in fear of disappointing him. One of his philosophies is be the guy who says no. It's no great achievement to go along with the crowd. Be the usual guy. Be the unusual guy, the extraordinary guy. That's why I never did drugs. He never harped on me about it, but I didn't want to be that guy who just went along because everyone was doing it. And I didn't want to let Dad down. Thanks to Dad, by the age of 12, I'd mastered a schedule worthy of the most efficient CEO. Sometimes I gripped and moaned because I was a kid, but even then, I secretly liked knowing that I had an edge over my classmates. Dad gave me a serious head start on the discipline and mentality it takes to be dedicated and responsible to achieve whatever I set out to achieve. It's no accident that the tagline of Success magazine is what achievers read. Today, Dad and I joke about what an addictive overachiever he trained me to be. At 18, I was making a six-figure income in my own business. By 20, I owned my own home in an upscale neighborhood. By 24, my income grew to more than 1 million a year. And by age 27, I was officially a self-made millionaire with a business that brought in more than 50 million in revenue. That just about brings us to present day because I am not yet 40, but I have enough money and assets to last my family the rest of my life. There are lots of ways to screw up a kid, Dad says. At least my way was pretty good one. You seem to have done pretty well. So while I admit that I had to practice sitting on my hands and being present in the moment, or chilling out peacefully in a beach chair from time to time without taking a pile of business books or self-improvement CDs with me, I am grateful for the success skills I learned from my dad and my other mentors along the way. The compound effect reveals the secret behind my success. I am a true believer in the compound effect because Dad made sure that I lived it every day until I couldn't live any other way if I tried. But if you're like most people, you're not a true believer. There are lots of perfectly understandable reasons why. You haven't had the same coaching and example showing you what to do. You haven't experienced the payoff of the compound effect. As a society, we have been deceived. We have been hypnotized by commercial marketing, which convinces you of problems you don't have and sells you on the idea of quick fixes to cure them. We have been socialized to believe in the fairy tale ending found in movies and novels. We've lost sight of the good old fashioned value of hard and consistent work. Let's examine those hurdles one by one.